Minasan konnichiwa and welcome back to my channel. I'm Reina Scully coming to you from Japan. This video is sponsored by Rosetta Stone, and in today's Japanese lesson, we're gonna go over some more useful, super basic kanji. This is a continuation of my first kanji lesson video where we went over the basic concept of kanji and why they are so important to learn, like the fact that they're logographs, why understanding morphemes is important, and the difference between Kunyomi and Onyomi. If these concepts are novel to you, I highly recommend checking out that video first before watching this one. I think it'll help you get a more thorough grasp of kanji and why it's so useful as opposed to just being very complicated. So today we are going to go over 11 different kanji that are very basic, super common, and therefore pretty easy to learn. These first grader level kanji are important to learn early on because they are components or radicals of other more complicated kanji that you will learn in the future. Just so you know, kanji is extremely difficult even for native Japanese speakers. If you don't physically write it out constantly, you tend to forget how it's written, but interestingly enough, you don't forget how to read it or what it symbolizes, so just being able to read kanji is extremely important in your Japanese learning journey. Before we dive into kanji learning, I wanted to thank Rosetta Stone for sponsoring this video. Rosetta Stone is a great place to begin your Japanese learning journey, especially if you're not quite sure where to start. It acclimates you to the auditory components of Japanese from the very first lesson, so you are immediately immersed rather than translating or transliterating, which can actually slow down your comprehension. The app is also intuitive and keeps you on track on a schedule, which is very important when acquiring new languages, as you have to pace yourself, but that's not something everybody can do on their own. So if you're interested in Rosetta Stone, be sure to click the link in my description. They have great discounts on all their monthly subscriptions, plus you can get unlimited access for only $179, which allows you to learn as many languages as you want on one account. Plus, once you buy Rosetta Stone, you have it for life. Now let's quickly review the two different ways that kanji can be read, since you will be learning both today. So kanji is read as either kunyomi or onyomi, and simply put, kunyomi is the Japanese way of reading the kanji, and onyomi is the Chinese derivative way of reading the kanji. Onyomi usually needs to be combined with other kanji, so as a basic rule of thumb, if you see two or more kanji lined up next to each other, it is most likely read as onyomi. And their definition or what they specify may differ depending on the combination of kanji. Kunyomi is a little easier to understand, as how it's read is the actual definition of the word, and therefore it can stand alone. As an example, this is the kanji for mountain, which is yama. This is the kunyomi, as how you read it is literally the definition of it. Yama means mountain. The onyomi for this kanji is san, which still implies mountain, but you need another kanji combined with it in order to form a full word. So Fujisan is written like this, which is of course the kanji for Mount Fuji. As you can see, the san in Fujisan is the kanji for mountain read as onyomi. You wouldn't call it Fujiyama, mainly because Fujiyama is actually a common Japanese surname. The proper name for Mount Fuji in Japanese is Fujisan. And sidebar, I think a lot of people mistake the san in Fujisan to be the suffix that follows a lot of names when you're trying to be semi-polite, like Tanaka-san, Reina-san, but it's not. It literally is the word for mountain. Japanese has a lot of homonyms like that, which is another reason why learning kanji is so crucial and valuable. Now that we've reviewed kunyomi versus onyomi, let's learn some more kanji. Let's start with this one, which is the kanji for up or above. The kunyomi for this kanji is ue, which is again the definition or the meaning of the word up or above. Ue. So this would be read as terebi no ue, terebi no ue, above the TV. Now the onyomi for this kanji is read as jo, and an example would be jozu, which describes being good at something by combining the kanji for above and hand. A fun way to remember this would be by saying that when you are good at something, you have the upper hand. Next, let's learn the opposite, which is this kanji, meaning down or below. The kunyomi is shita. So this is read as shita ni oite, shita ni oite, put it down or put it below. And the onyomi for this kanji is ka or get. An example would be the word chika, which means basement. Chika is created by combining the words for ground and below. Chika. Now let's move on to this kanji, which means inside or enter. The kunyomi is hairu, which actually needs hiragana to succeed the kanji in order to be read properly. There are many kunyomi that need accompanying hiragana, which are called okurigana. In the case of hairu, the kanji itself represents ha, I, and needs the okurigana ru, so you'll see it written out like this. Hairu, ie ni hairu, ie ni hairu, enter the house. And the onyomi for this kanji is nyu. So an example would be nyugaku, which means to enter school, more like entering a new grade of school or admission into school. Nyugaku is created by combining the kanji for enter and learn. Now let's learn the opposite. This is the kanji for exit or leave. The kunyomi is deru, and it needs the okurigana ru, so you'll see it written out like this. Deru, soto ni deru, soto ni deru. Exit to the outside or go outside. The onyomi for this kanji is shutsu, and it is difficult to pronounce. An example for shutsu would be shutsuryoku, which means output, like with energy, and it is created by combining the kanji for exit or leave and energy or power. Shutsuryoku. Now let's move on to this kanji for right, as in the direction right. The kunyomi is migi, and it can stand alone. Migi no doa, migi no doa, the door on the right. The onyomi can either be u or yu, and an example would be usetsu, which means right turn. Usetsu is created by combining the kanji for right and the kanji for fold or bend. The opposite is, of course, this kanji for left. The kunyomi is hidari, and it can stand alone. Hidari no switchi, hidari no switchi, the switch on the left. The onyomi is sa, and an example would be sasetsu, meaning left turn. It is again created by combining the kanji for left and the kanji for bend or fold. Usetsu and sasetsu are predominantly used when talking about driving. Now, I know we sort of went over this already in the beginning, but let's review it once again. This is the kanji for mountain. The kunyomi is yama. Yama ga ookii. Yama ga ookii. The mountain is big. The onyomi is san and can also sometimes be read as zan. So the example we used before for the onyomi is Fujisan, but another example would be kazan, which means volcano. It's created by using the kanji for fire and mountain. Kazan is volcano. Fujisan wa kazan desu. Fujisan wa kazan desu. Mount Fuji is a volcano. Next, let's learn this kanji for river or stream. The kunyomi is kawa. Kawa ga fukai. Kawa ga fukai. The river is deep. The onyomi for this kanji is sen. And an example would be something like sansen, which literally means mountains and rivers. And weirdly enough, you can actually also read this kanji as yamakawa, which are the kunyomi readings for both of the kanji. This does not happen very often, but it's good to remember exceptions like this. All right, we're almost at the end. Let's learn 3 more, but I promise these 3 are gonna be so easy once you get the first one. This is the kanji for tree. The kunyomi for it is ki. Takai ki. Takai ki. Tall tree. And the onyomi for this kanji is moku or boku, as in mokuyobi, Thursday. If you saw my first kanji lesson video, we went over this kanji already. I hope you remembered. Now, if you put 2 ki or trees next to each other, you get the kanji for woods or wooded area. The kunyomi is hayashi. Kirei na hayashi. Kirei na hayashi. A beautiful wooded area. The onyomi is rin, and an example would be mitsurin. Mitsurin, a densely wooded area. And then if you put another tree on top of the 2 trees, you get this kanji for forest. The kunyomi is mori. Mori no naka. mori no naka, inside the forest. The onyomi is shin. And a simple example would actually be shinding, which just means a super lush forest. I remember when I was in first grade and my cousin taught me the kanji for tree, woods, and forest. It's impossible to forget because it is so straightforward. If you could just remember ki, hayashi, and mori from this video, I would be more than happy. I know that was a lot, but I'm really proud of you for watching this whole video. Again, Japanese is one of the most difficult languages to learn and master. There are so many subtle differences, multiple ways to read one thing, and nuanced definitions and so on, but it's so impressive that you want to learn it. Whether it be because you want to live in Japan one day, or maybe it's because you want to watch anime without subtitles, whatever the reason, you are taking on a very tough language and you should be super proud of yourself. これからも頑張ってください. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Maybe you learned something new today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're interested in learning more Japanese, and let me know in the comments if you happen to know any of the kanji we went over today and how you came across it. Thank you, Rosetta Stone, for sponsoring this video, and thank you again for watching. I will see you in my next video. そんじゃまたね! お疲れ様! Complicated kanji, you will 難しい日本語では必需品 Are you kidding? Is this cat serious right now? Get the f*** out! Get the f*** out! No! Get out of here, get out of here. As in the direction, right. Oh, it might be this way.